Yes, guys. Yes, people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to Light Talks Football. It's been quite a while since I've been doing some content, but I am back, and the reason why it's a long time because Chelsea didn't play this week. The last game was last weekend, so Chelsea had a game, weeks of rest, and yeah, so that's the reason why. Obviously, I had some busy stuff to do. I had to help somebody, practice, my music and all that stuff. So that's the reason why um I was not around to do some content last week, but I'm here today to give you guys the Premier predictions for game week number 27. Of course, there's some good games to watch, but the big game, in fact, one of the biggest games, yeah, in history is the North London Derby. Tottenham versus Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or White Hart Lane. A team that's fighting for survival versus a team that is trying to win the Premier League title for the first time since 2004. I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. There's going to be predictions, so don't you worry. We'll get to that one. But yeah, I just wanted to start off by saying the North London Derby is the game of the weekend. Two teams fighting to see which if Tottenham can survive or will Arsenal finally win the title. I am so looking forward to it. So yeah, man. So make sure you guys continue to watch this video as we get into all of the predictions for game week number 27. So for those of you that are new here, every Friday I'll be doing Premier predictions only. If there's an FA Cup or let's say the Carabao Cup or the Champions League, I won't be able to do those ones. But for the Premier League, every Friday, or if there's a midweek game, and then on Mondays I'll be doing the predictions for that one as well. So make sure you guys save the dates. Every Friday, unless there's no Premier League games, I'm doing the predictions. And if there's midweek games, then on Mondays I'll be doing the predictions for those ones as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned. So yeah, people, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, hype, share, comment, and subscribe for more content such as this one. And if you guys don't want to miss any, live streams, the watch alongs, or if there's anything to talk about, then make sure you hit the bell notification as well so they never ever miss one of my content. So make sure you guys do all of those four things. And I'm on the road to 1K as usual. So make sure you guys help me to get there as soon as possible. All right, so without further ado, let's go. Oh, okay, well, the thing was supposed to say, but it looks like that got removed. But anyway, here we go. So yeah, the before I get into the predictions, guys, I need to talk about the game that happened 2 days ago, and that is Wolves versus Arsenal. Now, I didn't do a prediction, but before the game, I went 2-0 Arsenal, because Arsenal have got a very good record against Wolves. Of course, the last time these two met at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal won 2-1, but they needed two on goals to win the game. But I'm thinking to myself, surely Arsenal, yeah, cannot afford to do that again. They simply cannot, you know. But listen, their goals came from their own players, Saka and Nkapie. So cool. So Arsenal were 2-0 up. They were cruising. They were in good control. You're thinking, can they get more? Can they manage to go 7 points clear? Even though Man City's got a game in hand. Unfortunately, no. The first goal that Wolves scored was a banger. Maybe David White could have gone in a good position, but it's a really good finish, so that's cool. But the second goal in the last minute, what was David Wire doing? What was he doing? What was he thinking? Gabriel Magalhaes was in a good position to head that out, and you decided to not trust Gabriel to do that, and he just pushed the ball away and allowed that to go in the back of the net. Of course, Gabriel Magalhaes tried to clear it, but it went in, and they ended 2-2. And the fact that Arsenal have only won three Premier League games out of seven, or maybe two out of seven, is an absolute disgrace. Those wins, yeah, were against Leeds, and who else have they beaten? I'm trying to think. Let me see. What other game did Arsenal win? Let's see. Yeah, Sunderland as well. You know, those are the two wins that they got in the last seven games of the Premier League, and both of them came from newly promoted sides. Newly promoted sides, and the last games, um, and the games where they dropped points was Brentford away, Wolves away, Liverpool at home, Nottingham Forest away, and Man United at home. You know, that is absolutely crazy. This stats, yeah, this one of form in the Premier League is not good. But you know the worst thing is, guys, is that since the start of this year, Brentford, yeah, and Bournemouth have got more points than Arsenal. Bournemouth and Brentford got 14, Arsenal got 13. That's absolutely crazy. And this is the first time in Premier League history where a team, top of the table, were 2-0 up, and then it went back to 2-2 against a bottom of the league Wolves. This has never ever happened before. Not even Man United, And that for me was a real bottle job, because I would expect Arsenal, yeah, to win this game so that they can have more of a chance, yeah, to of winning the title. But now that's faded. Before the Wolves game, it was 70%. Now it's 54%. And now Arsenal are 5 points clear of Man City, but Man City's got a game at hand. So for Man City, yeah, to win the title, they've got to win every single game, including the game against Arsenal at the Etihad. Do you know what I mean? So that's the only way that Man City is going to win the league, is that if they win every single game. They can't afford to drop points one or two games. They can't. So that's how Man City is going to win this league. But if Arsenal need to win the league, they need to win every single game. They have to. But in the last few games here, I'm starting to believe that Man City could win the title than Arsenal. Because Man City right now are looking really good. They're at home against who did they last play? I'm just trying to remember. They played their last game at home to Fulham, and they won 3-0 for clean sheet. Gray's starting to look good. Semenyo as well. Harness back to scoring goals as well. Do you know what I mean? So Man City is starting to look good, and they're 5 points behind them. If I take a look at the form table, Man City have won three of the last four games, whereas for Arsenal, they've only won two, yeah, out of the last four games. And like I said, two draws in a row. Brentford away and Wolves away. And like I said, the last two games that they've won in the last seven was newly promoted teams. Leeds away and Sunderland at home. And that is a joke. It's an absolute joke. So Arsenal have really, really got to win this league if they want to break that curse. Because they finish second again, this will be the fourth time this happened in a row. Fourth time. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. Listen, obviously I was cooking. Also, I was bantering them. But as a neutral, this is a real concern, because their next game, like I mentioned in the beginning, is the North London Derby, one of the biggest games, yeah, in the history. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll get to the North London Derby preview, and the predictions just a moment. But yeah, man, like 2-0 Arsenal, and they effed it up. Like, utter joke. It really is a joke. So yeah, man, it is what it is. So yeah, that's what happened earlier this week. So Arsenal would have played 27 games, but the West will play 26. So there we go. But yeah, man, that's wanting to start it off by talking about the reaction to Wolves 2, Arsenal 2. So there we go. But yeah, man, let's move on into Saturday's games. And as you can see, there is no 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Maybe it's because the women's game or something like that. I really don't know. But yeah, so let's go into the 3 p.m. kickoff games. And the first game is Villa versus Leeds United. Of course, Aston Villa just managed, yeah, to get that 1-0 win against Brighton. and I was at the end of the game. You know what I mean? And if that didn't happen, yeah, if Villa didn't win that game, yeah, Man United and Chelsea could have catch up to them if both teams didn't draw their last game. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Arsenal will be at home to Leeds United. Now this ain't gonna be easy for Villa because Chelsea were at home to Leeds United and drew 2-2. And this is a Leeds United team that fighting for their lives, and they're 6 points above the relegation zone. So for me, yeah, even though I think, yeah, that Villa have beaten Brighton and it was at home, Brighton haven't been good this season. They really haven't, Brighton, So that's why for me, yeah, I would have. That's why I predicted Villa to win to beat Brighton at home because they've been really good. They haven't been good Brighton at all. But for this game tomorrow, I'm gonna go for draw. I am gonna go for a draw because I think Leeds is good is have good players to cause problems for Villa. And also, I want Villa to drop points because Chelsea are 6 points behind Aston Villa. And if Chelsea win their game against Burnley, which I'll get to in just a moment, and Villa lose to Leeds at home, we'll be 3 points behind them. We'll be 3 points behind Leeds behind Villa. So come on, Leeds United, please get a win or get a draw or something like that. So yeah, I'm backing Leeds to do something in that game. So for this game tomorrow, oh sorry about that. One sec, there we go. For this game, I'm gonna go for. Should I go for 1-1 or should I? Yeah, let's go for 1-1. I was thinking of a 2-2 draw. Actually, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me change it to 2-2. Let me change it to 2-2. Yeah, let me go for Desmond 2-2. I'll be very upset if Villa do beat Leeds United. But like I said, Leeds United are fighting for their lives and they want to stay in the Premier League next season. And we all know that Daniel Farke has a terrible record in the Premier League, but looks like that's got to break. And if Villa want to stay, if Leeds wants to stay up, they need to get some positive results. And I think this might be the time they can do it. And I will be watching that game along with the other 3 p.m. kickoff games this Saturday. So I'm gonna put an eye on that game. But yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-2. I think Leeds United can get results, and I hope they do it. I really hope. You know what I mean? So yeah, 2-2. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Tammy Abraham and Emi Buendia. And for Leeds United, I'm going to go for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and someone else. And by the way, before I get into the next game, I've got to say, like, don't get me wrong, Newcastle deserved to win, but Villa are lucky. They were lucky, yeah, in that game because the first goal that Villa scored, Tammy Abraham, was offside. That was offside. They had the red card, which was the goalkeeper. Cool. But another player should have been sent off. I can't remember who that is, but another Villa player should have been sent off with that reckless challenge, yeah? But the one that got me shocked, as a neutral, and I honestly couldn't believe it, is that Newcastle, for me, should have got a penalty. Now, don't get me wrong. They did score from that free kick. Fair enough. But I'm sorry, yeah? That handball, yeah, was inside the penalty box. That was inside, not outside. So the fact that the referee decides to give a free kick is an absolute disgrace. But I'm not going to blame this on him. I'm going to blame the FA, the Football Association. Because the fact that there is not going to be VAR in the FA Cup, apart from maybe what you call it, the semi-final final, is an absolute disgrace, because I understand, yeah, they don't want to do this for teams in League One, League Two, or something like that, but you definitely do need VAR. Like, don't get me wrong. Before VAR came in, I was enjoying it. No offsides, you can celebrate and all that stuff. But we need VAR in the FA Cup. And I do not care, yeah, if it teams from the National League or for League One, League Two. You need VAR in this. because there's going to be many complaints, not only for the players and for the manager, there's going to be complaints on the fans as well. There will be. Like, if Newcastle didn't win that game, I'll feel sorry for them. I really do, you know. But that's the one thing I'll say about Newcastle is that they didn't, let that, get it, make it bad for them because they still won the game. So good for them. But if I was a Newcastle fan, I would still be fuming in that decision. You know what I mean? So I think Villa got lucky. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out because I want to get you guys' thoughts to it as well. Do you think we need VAR in the FA Cup, not only for the final semi final, but for the whole games? Do you think we need the VR in the FA Cup and also in the Carabao Cup as well? Do let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, I just wanted to get that stuff out of the way before I move on into the next one. So yeah, 2-2. While the next one is Brentford versus Brighton, of course. Like I mentioned, Brighton got a 1-0 loss, whereas for Brentford, they got a 1-1 draw against Arsenal. And in that game, I feel like both teams could have won, so a draw is a fair result. But you know what, yeah? I'm going to go for Brentford win because Brighton, my goodness me, they've been absolutely terrible. You look at this, guys, yeah? They're in 14th place and they're 7 points above West Ham. If Brighton lose to Brentford and Leeds United, um, Tottenham, win their games, they go above them. They go above Brighton, And if Forest, win their game, if Leeds, beat Villa, and if Tottenham beat Arsenal, and Forest beat Liverpool, Brighton will be 14, will be 16th, and they'll be 1 point behind, above Forest. And if West Ham, beat Bournemouth, you know, there will be um there will be 4 points behind Brighton. So Brighton are in deep trouble, deep trouble. Like I don't know what's going on with them, with Brighton, but they have been that great this season. They really haven't at all, at all. For me, yeah. So yeah, for me, I feel like Brentford are going to win this game. Because if I look at the table, for Brentford, they're in seventh place and they're 2 points behind Liverpool and 4 points behind Chelsea. Now, as a Chelsea fan, I want Brighton to win because I don't want Brentford to be catching up to Chelsea. I really don't. But I feel like I can't trust Brighton because they have been terrible this season. Absolutely terrible. So for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Brentford win. 2-0. Because at home, at the G2 Community Stadium, is a very difficult place to go to. And Brentford have been absolutely fantastic. And if they make it to Europe, boy, Keith Andrews deserves a massive round of applause. And he could be the manager of the season. He really could. Because the fact that Brentford have never ever played the Europe in their history, and this could be potentially the first time, would be amazing. It could be amazing for Brentford. So yeah, I'm gonna back them to win 2-0, unfortunately. But I love Brighton to win that game, but that ain't gonna happen. So yeah. Goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Igor Thiago and let's go for Jordan Henderson. So yeah, 2-0 Brentford. They will get the job done. While the next game is Chelsea versus Burnley. Of course, Burnley got a sensational comeback. In fact, 5 goals in the first half. Like Palace were 2-0 up, 2-0 up, and Burnley decided to make a comeback to make it 3-2. Now, hopefully, that is not the case for Chelsea. I really hope that's not the case. I hope, yeah, that Chelsea don't do the same thing against Leeds. Because we were 2-0 up in that game, and we drew 2-2. Now, I'm hoping that Mamadou starts this game because um Mamadou Sarr was fantastic on his debut for Chelsea against Hull City. And we need someone, yeah, that can just make us not feel nervous whenever we go like 2-0, 3-0 up. We need that type of defender. And I think if Mamadou starts, we'll keep a clean sheet. If not, then we'll probably concede. So there we go. But yeah, Chelsea, Liam Senior still remains unbeaten in the Premier League. 4 wins and a draw. It's not that bad, but that draw against Leeds United was really disappointing. But like I said, I'm not going to put the blame on him because the players let him down. So hopefully the players don't do the same thing tomorrow against Burnley. I just hope we don't. I hope they don't. So there we go. But yeah, for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Chelsea win. I feel like we're going to definitely keep a clean sheet, hopefully back to back. And yeah, we'll see if Mamadou can get another start for the game against Burnley tomorrow. So there we go. And don't forget, people, there will be a live watch along. So make sure you guys tune into that one tomorrow. But yeah, 2-0 Chelsea. Goal scorers, João Pedro and Cole Palmer to score. So yeah, 2-0 to Chelsea. It's going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. And then the next game is West Ham versus Bournemouth. Of course, West Ham in 18th place, trying to fight for survival. Whereas for Bournemouth, they're starting to look really good. Unbeaten in the last 5 games. That is amazing. And of course, their last game was what was Bournemouth's last game? Yeah, away to Brentford. Away? Yeah, Brentford. Sorry, away to Bournemouth, and they won 2-1. And Everton were down to 10 men, by the way, in that game. So there we go. But yeah, Bournemouth have been really impressive. Really impressive on beating the last 5 games, and now they're in ninth place, the same points as Everton. Oops, sorry guys, I'm just okay. Anyway, I'll respond to that in just a minute. But yeah, Bournemouth have been looking good. They were looking really good. Whereas for West Ham, not so much. Now, I know, yeah, that Forest and Tottenham will be watching that game because they're hoping for West Ham to be slipping up. They want West Ham to not win that game. Otherwise, that battle for survival, boy, that's going to be interesting from now to the end of the season. So there we go. Now, for me, yeah, if this game was at the Vitality Stadium, I would definitely go for Bournemouth win. I really do. But unfortunately, um, this is not going to be easy because West Ham are fighting for their lives. They really are. And they want to win that game to put more pressure on Forest and Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? So for this game, I'm thinking that it's just that Bournemouth have been really good. But away from home, they haven't been that great. Away from home. It's only at the Vitality State that have been really good. So for this game, I think if I have to go for one team to win, it might be West Ham, but I feel like it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go for 1-1. It's so difficult because, like I said, Bournemouth are unbeaten last 5 games. I've been looking well. West Ham have got a few decent results, but they're still in 18th. They're still in 18th. So yeah, if it's a must-win game, it's for West Ham. It's a must-win game for West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Because they can close the gap if they do beat Bournemouth um tomorrow. So there we go. But I think it's gonna be a draw. I wouldn't be surprised if either West Ham or Bournemouth win. But I'm just gonna go for draw on this one. I'm gonna go for 1-1 because it's so difficult to predict. So yeah, 1-1 in that game. So yeah, goal scorers for West Ham, Joe Bowen, for Bournemouth, Eva Illison. So do forgive me if I can't pronounce his name properly, but you know me. So yeah, 1-1 in that one. And that's a 5:30 p.m. kickoff, by the way, on Saturday. So there we go. And then the next game, which is an 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday, which barely happens this time of year. But yeah, another 8 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday is Man City versus Newcastle United, of course. Um, Newcastle, what was their last game? Went away to Tottenham and won 2-1. For Man City, they won 3-0 at home to Fulham. Now for this game, I mean, so far, Man City and Newcastle have been facing each other 3 times in all competitions because at St James Park in the Premier League, Newcastle beat Man City 2-1. And then the Carabao Cup, first leg at St James Park, Man City won 2-0. And then in the second leg, which was the Etihad Stadium, Man City won 3-1, 5-1 in aggregate, and then through to the final of the Carabao Cup. So far, 2 wins for City and 1 for Newcastle. And of course, Newcastle played in midweek and managed to beat and destroy Carabao by 6 goals to 1. Something that my club could have done. But yeah, Anthony Gordon scored 4 goals in that game, and he's the top scorer in the Champions League. So there we go. But yeah, Newcastle went away to Karabakh in Kazakhstan and won by 6 goals to 1. Now, for me, yeah, I know Arsenal fans will be hoping and praying that Newcastle can do something, but I don't think so. Because number one, Man City didn't play in a week. They didn't. So they had one game, they had 1 week rest. And number two, yeah, Newcastle away from home can be good, but not that great. And number three, Newcastle have a terrible record as at the Etihad Stadium. The last time that Newcastle beat Man City at the Etihad was in 2014. 2014, when he had the likes of Demba um, sorry, Papi Cisse and all that stuff. That was the last time. So it's getting close to like 12 years now since Newcastle went away and won at the Etihad. Absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So for me, yeah, if Man City want to close the gap on Arsenal, then they've got to win this game. And I think Man City do have the advantage because, like I said, they didn't play midweek. They had 1 week rest. Newcastle playing the Champions League. They went away to Kazakhstan, which is a long journey for them. So I feel like, and also Newcastle will be tired. They will be tired. So I feel like Man City will win this game. So for this game tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna go for the same result as it was at the Etihad in the Carabao Cup. Man City 3, Newcastle United 1. Now, of course, Newcastle did manage to finally score at the Etihad, which they never done before, and I think they will do it again because Man City can keep a clean sheet, but sometimes their backline can be a bit shaky at times. But we shall wait and see. But yeah, I feel like I said, Man City do have the advantage because they had a game week rest. They didn't play midweek, and the players will be up for it. So yeah, I'm gonna go for Man City to win a 3-1. Goal scorers: Semenyo, Haaland, and Omar Mamouche for Newcastle or the Anthony Gordon. So yeah, 3-1 to Manchester City. It's gonna be my prediction for that game tomorrow. So yeah, that is it's got to be a must-win game for Man City. So there we go. So yeah, 3-1. And then the next game. Oh, sorry, move on into Super Sundays. We've got 3 p.m. kickoffs to predict. So the first game is Crystal Palace versus Wolves. I mean, I've got to start with Crystal Palace because my goodness me, they went away yesterday against a team that I can't pronounce, but it's Botswana and Hertha, and they drew 1-1. And I'm seeing a stat that says Crystal Palace have only won one game out of 13 in all competition. One win in 13, and that win was the M23 derby away to Brighton. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on with Crystal Palace, but they've been terrible. And I'm hearing the news that Olivier Glasner is under some serious pressure. Of course, they cannot sack him now because when the season is over, he said he wants to leave. Olivier Glasner wants to leave, so we shall see. But Crystal Palace, after that win in the FA Cup, they're starting to look really bad. I think, don't get me, I think Crystal Palace will stay up. But the fact they're in 13th place right now is not good. And if Brighton, Leeds United, and Tottenham win their game and Palace lose to Wolves, which I don't think that's going to happen, but if that happens, yeah, then Palace could be in 16th. 16th, and 2 points ahead of the relegations. 2 positions above the relegation if they lose and Tottenham, Brighton, and Leeds United win their game. Do you know what I mean? So Palace this season has been particularly been that great. For Wolves, though, they did during the last 2 games. So they drew to Arsenal and they also drew to who else have they drew to? Nottingham Forest, 0-0. So for me, yeah, since Wolves have drawn the last 3 games, and I tell you what, yeah, if Wolves, yeah, avoid defeat in the game against Crystal Palace, is either they'll be the same points as Derby Country, or um better because Derby County's points overall is 11, and Wolves have got 10 points. 10 points. So if Wolves can get a point, that'll be the same as Derby County, and that means that Wolves need to get either another point or a win in order for for them to not break that horrible record like Derby County did, in 07, 08. You know what I mean? So there we go. But yeah, man, Wolves, last two games a draw for Crystal Palace, only one win in 13. And yeah, it's looking good for Palace at all. So for this game on Sunday, I'm going to go for a draw. Excuse me. I'm gonna go for 1-1. I would not be surprised here if Wolves beat Palace, because like I said, Wolves have been terrible in all competition. Only one win in 13. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a draw. I don't know how, because Wolves away from home can be that good, but not great. And they've only got one win. They've only got one win, this season, and that was at home to West Ham. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw. I really am. So yeah, Paddy's goal scorer, Jon for the Mateta for Wolves. I'm gonna go for Wanky chance. So yeah, 1-1 draw in that game on Sunday. Then the next game, on 2 o'clock kickoff is Forest versus Liverpool. And I'm looking forward to that one. Now, Forest, yeah, under their new manager, I watched their game against Fenerbahce, and they won 3-0, 3-0 in Istanbul. Fenerbahce are a big club in Turkey, along with Galatasaray. They're second right now. And the fact they went away to Turkey, so in Istanbul in Turkey, and won 3-0, absolutely amazing. I didn't think, yeah, they'll get to a result after they sacked Sean Dice. But they managed to do that. And that's really good. Really good from Nottingham Forest. So, but it's good, but it's the first game, so I know Forest House will take it one game at a time, but that's a really good win. Going away to Fenerbahce and getting a 3-0 with a clean sheet is really good. Really good. But they're at home to Liverpool. Of course, these two let each other at Anfield, and Forest beat them by 3 goals to 0. Of course, that was under Sean Dice, but he got sacked. But Arne Slot is still there. Now, I'm saying my prayer. Nottingham Forest, I'm if you're watching this year, I want you to do a job and beat Liverpool. I want you to do a job because I want to get Champions League this season. I do not want to be dragged into um um you know the final game of the season, where if Chelsea win, they'll get Champions League, but if we don't win, then we're not getting Champions League. Do you know what I mean? So Forest, yeah, in order for you, yeah, to survive, you have got to win that game. You really got to. And I tell you what, yeah, if Forest beat Liverpool and Tottenham lose to Arsenal, then Forest could be above them. Because Forest are on 27 points and Tottenham are on 29 points. Do you know what I mean? So Forest, if you can do Chelsea a favour and win, that would be good. Because Chelsea, if they beat Burnley, will be 5 points clear of Liverpool. Because Chelsea play tomorrow and Liverpool play on Sunday. So Forest, I'm hoping and praying that you can beat Liverpool, please. If you can do that, cool. But if you can't, then better luck next time. Now, for this game, I really don't know what to predict, people. I really, really don't know what to predict. But if I have to go for a bad-minded prediction, I'm gonna go for Forest to win. Like I said, the fact they went away to Fenerbahce and won 3-0, amazing, absolutely amazing. And Liverpool, I don't think they have a good record of City going. I might be one. I can't win. I really don't know. But Forest, I'm gonna back them to win 2-1, and I'm hoping they'll give me the 3 points. Because, like I said, Forest have got to win this game because they're in 17th place, 3 points above the relegation. If West Ham lose to Bournemouth and if Forest beat Liverpool, you know, they'll be 6 points ahead of them. So, in order for Forest to stay up, they've got to beat Liverpool. They really got to. This is surviving for relegation versus a team that's trying to make Champions League football for next season. So, yeah, Forest, if you can win this game for not only Chelsea and for Man United as well, that would be amazing. That would be amazing. I'm going to go for a bad-minded prediction. Forest 2, Liverpool 1. Goal scorer, Igor Jesus, Callum Hudson-Odoi. For Liverpool, Dominic Szoboszlai or either Hugo Ekitike. So yeah, 2-1 to Nottingham Forest is going to be my prediction. Please, Forest, man. Please, just win that game. Please, I'm hoping you can win that game. So there we go. So yeah, 2-1 to Nottingham Forest, hopefully. Right, the next game is Sunderland versus Fulham. Of course, Sunderland did suffer their first home defeat this season, which was Liverpool. Whereas for Fulham, once again, still cannot beat City. That is 15 attempts that they tried and they lost all of them. So, yeah, Fulham simply cannot beat Manchester City at all. At all. So, there we go. Um, what was um, what was Sunderland's last game? I think they went away from home, didn't they? Sunderland, lost 1-0 to Liverpool. So yeah, like I mentioned before. But for me, yeah, I feel like Sunderland will bounce back. They will bounce back because Liverpool are a good team. They really are. Whereas for Fulham away from home, not good, not good. And if you look at Fulham, they've lost 3 games in a row. 3 games, including that 3-0 defeat away to Man City. So only 1 win in 5 for Fulham. My day. So Fulham, their form is worse than any other team because a few teams lost 2 games in a row, one in a row, but Fulham in the last 3 games, 3 losses in a row. Boy, oh boy, that's not good. That is not good. So yeah, even though Sunderland did lose at home for the first time this season, they're gonna bounce back. They are gonna bounce back, and they're gonna cause Fulham to lose 4 games in a row. So yeah, so I feel like Sunderland will bounce back. See, I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Sunderland win because I think Fulham will score. They will score, but yeah, I feel like Sunderland will get the job done. See, a 2-1 to Sunderland. So yeah, goal scorers Barry and Granit Xhaka. For Fulham, I'm gonna go for Howie Wilson. So yeah, 2-1 Sunderland. They will bounce back and they will make the St. Flight a fortress again. So yeah, 2-1 to Sunderland is going to be my prediction for that game on Sunday. And then the North London Derby, the biggest North London Derby ever in history. Tottenham versus Arsenal at the Tottenham Stadium on a 4:30 p.m. kickoff. And there will be a live watching on that one, so make sure you guys tune in. Like I said before, one team is fighting for survival, the other team is fighting for the league. And because if you look at the table, Tottenham are in 16th. They are 2 points above Forest and 5 points above West Ham. So Tottenham have got to win this game because if Forest beat Tottenham, if Forest beat Liverpool, they'll go above Tottenham, and if West Ham beat beat Bournemouth, they'll be 2 points behind Tottenham, and Tottenham could be in so much trouble from now to the end of the season. So for me, yeah, if you want to know which team is a must win, is both. And the reason why I said it's both is because Arsenal have got to win as well. Because they drew in the last 2 games, 2 draws in a row. They're only 5 points above Man City. But of course, Arsenal play the game more. And if Man City win their game in hand, they go 2 points behind them, behind Arsenal. So for me, the pressure's on both teams. But I think for me, yeah, if teams is under some more pressure, it is Arsenal because Mikel Arteta is trying to win a major trophy for the first time since 2020 during COVID. Because that's the last time Arsenal won a major trophy. I'm not going to count the Community Shield as a major trophy because it's for charity. It ain't a major trophy. But the FA Cup was the last time Arsenal won a major. If you look at the teams, yeah, that's won more major trophies than Arteta. Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United, even Tottenham has won a major trophy in the last 5 years than Arsenal. Palace as well. Even Leicester City, who won the Championship, won more major trophies than Mikel Arteta over the last 5 years. So for me, yeah, if Arteta finally wants to win a trophy, this is the game they has to win. Because, like I said, 2 wins out of 7 Premier League games is not good enough. It really isn't good enough. That's not the sign of champions elect whatsoever. So if I was Mikel Arteta, they've got to win this game. They've got to. Because if there's any more slip ups, then Arsenal could be in trouble. And don't forget, after that game, they've got another London derby, which is against Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. They'll if they drop points in that game, boy, the title could be over for Arsenal. It could be. So Arsenal, like I mentioned before, if they want to win the league, they've got to win every single game from now until the end of the season. That's the only way. Because if Arsenal keep dropping points and Man City win every single game, then Man City will definitely win the title and Arsenal will not. So for me, this is more on Arsenal than Tottenham. Like, don't get me wrong. If Tottenham, yeah, um, don't win, then it's still got a chance. Because let's say that Forest lose to Tottenham, sorry, Forest lose to Liverpool, and West Ham lose to Bournemouth, then Tottenham will still be in 16th, and they still have more games to save themselves. Because Tottenham need 11 points for them to stay up. So Tottenham have got to win 4 games in the last 12 Premier League games. 4 wins and they'll be safe. Do you know what I mean? So that's the simple thing that Tottenham has got to do. So for me, yeah, in terms of the pressure, if I have to give the percent, yeah, I'll give it 52 for Arsenal and 48 for Tottenham because it's so close. But I think the pressure is more on Arsenal because they want to win a trophy as well. Don't get me wrong, Tottenham the same. But if Arsenal want to win the Premier League like they've never done since 2004, they've got to win. And if they don't, boy, pressure's on Mikel Arteta as well because he cannot spend all this money and go another season trophyless yet again. You just simply can't. It's as simple as that. So there we go. So for me, I'm gonna for the time being, yeah, Igor Tudor, I don't know what setup he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to get out these players. So for me, yeah, for the time being, I'm going to go for 2-1 Arsenal. But if Tottenham do win, I'll be very surprised because I don't think any rival fan, no, anybody apart from Tottenham will predict them to win. Nobody. I don't think Tottenham will win, but if they do, I'll be shocked, but I'll give them credit. But for me, Arsenal will win this game because Arsenal have never. The last time, yeah, that Tottenham beat Arsenal in all competition was in 2012. Sorry, not 2012, 2022. On the Antonio Conte 3-0. That was the last time. Ever since then, 1 draw and 5 wins for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So there we go. So yeah, 2-1 Arsenal is going to be my prediction for that game on Sunday. The big game, the game of the weekend, and one of the biggest North London derbies ever in history. I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be a live watch along, so make sure you guys tune in. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction. And then on Monday night, so Man United back to Monday Night Football. They travel away to Everton at the Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first time. So this will be Man United's first ever trip to the Hill Dickinson Stadium because they opened because Goodison Park you know was last season. This season until the future is the Hill Dickinson Stadium. This is Man United's first trip there, and yeah. So listen, for me, yeah, I think that Man United are going to win this game because Michael Carrick is doing a really good job. Yes, the game against West Ham they drew, but West Ham are fighting for their lives. And Man United, specifically, don't have a good record. Of course, this is the first time they've not lost at the London Stadium, but it's also another game where Man United simply don't have a win at the London Stadium. That is 4 times in a row, by the way. 4 times. So there we go. But yeah, listen. The reason why I think here, like, if this game was at Old Trafford, I think Everton will win because Everton are very good, are better away from home than they are at their own stadium. Do you know what I mean? Because Everton's last away game was against Fulham and they won 2-1. And they went also away to Villa and won 1-0. So if Everton are better away from home than they are on their own stadium. Do you know what I mean? So, and they lost home game. They lost 2-1 to Bournemouth. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I think, yeah, that Man United are going to win. But you know what, yeah? I'm hoping and praying for a Everton win, because I think Man United Everton played on a Monday night. Everton went down to 10 men and they beat them, but that was under Ruben Amorim. So if Ruben Amorim is still the manager, I'll definitely go for the Everton win. But Michael Carrick's doing a good job. He's still unbeaten in the Premier League. You know, in the last 5 games, 4 wins and a draw. The same goes for Liam Senior. So I think he will still remain unbeaten. So that's why I think for me that Man United will get a win at the Hugh Dickinson Stadium. So yeah, I'm gonna go unfortunately for 2-1 Man United. But if Everton can get a result against Man United, that would be amazing. It really would. Because like I said, Chelsea from now to the end of the season needs to get Champions League football for more money and for more revenue. Do you know what I mean? We cannot afford, yeah, um, to not make Champions League next season. So there you go. So yeah, I think Man United will win, but I'll be more than happy if Everton can get a result on Monday night. So there we go. But yeah, I think Man United will get the job done. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 2-1 Man United. Oh yeah, goal scores for North London Derby. I'm gonna go for with Charlton to score, but also I'm gonna go for Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Magalhaes to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Arsenal. Then the goal scores for on Monday night for Everton. I'm gonna go for Beto. For Man United, I'm gonna go for Bruno Fernandes and um, who do I go for? Embremo. So yeah, 2-1 to Man United. Those are going to be the goal scorers for that game on a Monday night. So there we go. All right, guys. So let me go for my predictions one more time. So Saturday's games, which is of course tomorrow. I've gone for a 2-2 draw between Villa and Leeds United. Then I've gone for a 2-0 Brentford win against Brighton, a 2-0 Chelsea win against Burnley, a 1-1 draw between West Ham and Bournemouth, and then a 3-1 Man City win against Newcastle at the Etihad. And then Super Sundays games, I've gone for a 1-1 draw between Palace and Wolves, a 2-1 Forest win against Liverpool, 2-1 Sunderland win against Fulham, 2-1 Arsenal win against Tottenham in the biggest Northern derby ever in history. And then on Monday night, I've gone for a 2-1 Manchester United win against Everton at the Hugh Dickinson Stadium. And the Red Devils will travel there for the first time ever. So yeah, and they'll get the job done. So 2-1 to Man United. And that, my people, is the final game. Is my predictions for the for game week number 27. And so, since that's the end of my predictions, that is the end of this video. So if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure you hit the bell notification so I never miss any of my content, including live streams. If you guys score your score predictions, so do let me know in the comments down below. And also do let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my predictions. So make sure you guys do let me know. Hype this video if you haven't done so already. Share this to all your friends and family so that they can join in and watch the video as well. And yeah, and finally, I'm trying to get to 1K as soon as possible. So I'm on the road to 1K. So make sure you guys do make sure you tell all your friends and your family to subscribe so that you guys can help me get to 1K as soon as possible. So for those of you that have subscribed, then cool. But if you haven't, then make sure you do subscribe to my YouTube channel called Talks Football, as you can see on the bottom of your screen. All right, people. So enjoy the rest of your Premier League games. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys again very soon. Take care. Goodbye. God bless you. Boy, Talks Football, and I'm out of here. Peace.